1991. This is our champion, Steve Grant, and he returns with $6,400. This is the U.S. Postal Worker, Harry Cortez. And this is the data processing project leader, Cecil Rhodes. Steve is the champion. Harry and Cecil, you are the challengers. And now, here is your master of the challenge, Dick Clark.
Good group on a Friday. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Challengers. Our champion Steve is back with $6,400 in the till. Harry and Cecil standing by to do their very best to see that this good luck does not come. It's not good luck. You've worked real hard at this. You've earned every penny. And we welcome you and remind you all that the money you earn today is awarded by Citibank, MasterCard, and Visa. Going to start you all off with $200 in a minute on the clock in the sprint round. Everybody stand by, and here we go. What Spanish expression popularized in song means what will be, will be? Steve, I beg your pardon, Steve.
Que sera, sera.
Yes, sir. In what Charles Dickens novel do we find the screaming blackmailer Uriah Heep? Steve?
David Copperfield.
Correct. What was the profession of the man named Grover Cleveland Alexander? Harry?
Baseball.
Correct. According to the nursery rhyme, what's the one thing that Jack Sprat could not eat? Steve?
Fat.
Correct. Name the southern state governed by Democrat Lawton Chiles. Harry?
Florida.
Right. What is the name of the group of lawyers and judges known as the ABA? Steve?
American Bar Association.
Correct. Reconstruction was the period in United States history following what war? Steve?
Civil War.
Correct. On which continent would you find the Cape of Good Hope? Cecil?
Africa.
Correct. 25 sheets of paper are called a quire. What name is given to 500 sheets of paper? Cecil?
A ream.
Ream is right now. Despite my reading, you got it right. I didn't give you the best interpretation of that question, but you got the answer correctly. Steve, you got $700 in your bank account so far. Here are your subjects. We have Great Scots, American states, music around the world, about faces, rhymes with, and the big league. Please select.
American states.
American states involves the Great Plains states, Western states, and Southern states. $1 to $200 wagers, gentlemen, please. For $150, Harry, what Western state are you in if you just arrived in the Evergreen state?
Colorado.
Sorry, it was Washington. For $200, Steve and Cecil. What Southern state is nicknamed the Magnolia State? Cecil.
Mississippi.
Mississippi is right for $200. Select, please.
Great Scott.
Great Scots, we have Sir Walter Scott, Scott Thoreau, and Scott Joplin. Those are the great Scots you're going to wager on. For $150, Cecil. Author Scott Thoreau had two bestsellers in 1990. The first was Presumed Innocent, followed by Burden of What?
Proof.
Proof is right for $150. Harry and Steve for $200. Interest in Scott Joplin's ragtime music was revived when it was performed in the movie The Sting. Name the man who won an Oscar for arranging that music. Steve?
Marvin Hamlish.
You're right for $200. And we have four subjects left over there, which we'll return to in a moment or two. At the moment, it's Steve out in front, followed by the other two guys in that order, and we'll see what happens as we move on to the next round, continuing here on The Challenge. Welcome back once again to The Challengers. A little background on everybody here. Harry, in addition to your other work, you're an artist?
Yes, somewhat.
What do you do?
Well, I sketch Western scenes. I usually use pencil, charcoal. That's my chosen artistic tool.
Still life stuff, or animals, or people? Or...
I do Western scenes, but right now I'm doing Victorian houses. Sketches I owe my wife for our living room wall, which I'm long overdue on executing.
A great period of time. Now, compared to that, we have an inventor next to you, one of his greatest achievements of all time, world-renowned. I'm teasing, of course. Tell us, confess now, what did you invent?
The world's most exciting bed.
Yeah?
It's a water bed with a clear mattress, which is flooded with either the color of your choice or many colors which pulsate to the music, combined with a wraparound stereo headboard and a matching overhead canopy, also with lights, which creates the ultimate effect or floating in a shimmering shaft of
Wait a minute,
color.
Steve, you're still selling. What was this thing called?
It was called the Lagoon.
The Lagoon.
Yeah.
Now, we speak of it in the past tense. It was not successful.
Well, I had a little problem getting clearance with the electrical wiring and all.
A disco bed.
A disco bed.
Cecil, you're a former Air Force officer. Tell me a little bit about your activities.
Well, back in the early 70s, we were flying over the White Sands Missile Range and testing guidance systems for the Maverick missile and a developmental prototype system for what later became the Air Force NavStar navigation satellite systems, both of which systems were used in the recent Persian Gulf War.
Yes, indeed, I know. Nice to have you here today. Good luck to all of you. Steve's out in front by a smidgen. He has the choice of these. That music around the world, about faces, rhymes with, and the big league. See what's going to be.
Let's try music around the world.
All right. Check out Spanish singers, Australian songs, and American writers. There you go. $100 to $200 wages. For $150, Cecil, what unofficial Australian anthem, oddly enough, has nothing to do with the dancing lady?
Waltzing Matilda.
You're right. For $200, Harry and Steve. The woman who wrote the libretto for the opera Four Saints in Three Acts also wrote the line, "Rose is a rose is a rose. Name that American writer." Steve?
Gertrude Stein.
Correct for $200. About faces rhymes with in the big leagues for your choices, Steve.
About faces.
About faces. Scar faces, baby faces, dog faces. $100 to $200 wages again. For $150, Steve, his original name was Lester Gillis. But by what better-known last name do we know the Chicago bank robber whose nickname was Babyface?
Nelson.
George Babyface Nelson. Judge, didn't he get thrown out of the Capone gang?
Yes, as a matter of fact, he did. It's an interesting story. He was too violent for them, so they threw him out. This is true.
He was too violent?
Too violent.
And they fired him?
Well,
From the mob?
well, when you get that violent, nobody wants you around.
For $200, Harry and Cecil, get ready to look to the video wall and identify this breed of dog known for its unique appearance. To the wall. Cecil.
Sharpei.
You're right, for $200. The choice is yours on these upcoming subjects. We have rhymes with and the big league.
Rhymes with.
Rhymes with tall. Rhymes with dark. Rhymes with handsome. Select and wages. Everybody goes for the $200 one. It doubles, making it 4. All three of you stand by. Give me the word that rhymes with handsome and is the price you pay to gain freedom for a kidnapped victim. Steve.
Ransom.
Ransom is right. You want to try rhyming with tall or dark?
Rhymes with tall, please.
Give me the word that rhymes with tall and describes a brief but violent wind or storm.
Squall.
Squall is right. How about dark?
Let's try that, too.
What animal rhymes with dark and has varieties named Nurse, Mako, and Thresher?
Shark.
Shark is right. You won $900 and just swept them all. Got the big leagues up there now. We have 20,000 leagues, baseball leagues, and the League of Nations. Select, please. Doubles again. All three stand by. The League of Nations was formed after World War I as a means to preserve world peace. What treaty created the League? Harry.
The Treaty of Versailles.
You're right, for $400. You want to try baseball leagues or 20,000 leagues?
I'm going for 20,000 leagues here.
In Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, what was the name of Captain Nemo's submarine?
The Nautilus.
You're right, sir. That's for $200. You want to sweep the board? It'll be worth $900.
No, I'm weak on baseball. I'm sorry.
I think you might even have more trouble with this one because it was sort of an offbeat question. We'll be back in a second to play the second half of the game and raise the value of all of our questions. Come on back.
All news and current events questions are verified by Newsweek magazine. And now, back to the challengers.
We all ready to go again here? Harry, you're going to have the choice here in the second round of play. We'll raise the value of all of the questions. These are the 6 categories we have. Aristotle, Socrates, and Onassis, authors in their work. Tasteful music, look to the video wall, famous pirates, and the sounds of silence. What's your pleasure?
I would like famous pirates.
Famous pirates? We have English pirates, French pirates, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Select the pirates that you like the best. All right, we have a $200 question for you, Harry. During the 17th century, the English government hired pirate Harry Morgan to raid and pillage the Caribbean interests of what European nation?
That would be Spain.
Spain is right for $200. Steve and Cecil for $300. Pirate Jean Lafitte helped Andrew Jackson win the Battle of New Orleans in what war? Steve.
War of 1812.
That's right for $300. The choice is yours for the last five.
Tasteful music.
Tasteful music involves brown sugar, green onions, and sweet cherry wine. Select the one you want. Everybody gets one this time. Cecil, this is yours, Brown Sugar. Brown Sugar was the first #1 hit for the Rolling Stones record label. Name the pop artist who designed the logo for that record label.
Andy Warhol.
George, I had a guess.
I'd say it's just a shade too red.
I'm sorry to say I agree. Breaks my heart.
I'm sorry to say you agree with me, too.
It's pretty obvious the buzzer hit before you did. Steve, for $300, the song Green Onions was a 1962 instrumental hit for Booker T. and who?
The MG.
You're right, sir, for $300. Harry, for $4. Tommy James tasted success with the 1969 hit song Sweet Cherry Wine. What was the name of Tommy James's band?
That would be the Shondells.
You guys know it. All right. Pick up $400 on that one. Harry, we have 4 subjects left.
Authors and their works.
All right, let's see what we have. For $200, poets' works, 300 authors' characters, and 400 novelist screenplays. Select and major. Everybody goes for the same one. That's worth $800 now. This category could be worth $1,800 if you sweep it. All three of you stand by. Name the Nobel Prize-winning author who wrote the screenplay for the 1952 Marlon Brando film, Viva Zapata. Harry.
John Steinbeck.
You're right, for $800. How about the author's characters and poets' work?
I'll pass on that.
What's your category, Harry? Whatever you say. I thought, boy, he's going to clean the board on that. We have left there the last 3. Which one?
Look to the video wall.
All right, sir. We have people, products, and professional services. $200 to $400 wages. Steve, Ian? Okay, for $200. This is Harry and Steve. Get ready to look to the video wall and identify this controversial defendant. Cue the wall. Harry.
Klaus von Bülow.
You're right, for $200. Cecil, for $400, get ready to look to the video wall and name the company that uses this logo. Cue the wall.
Merrill Lynch.
You're right, sir, for $400. There's a play to the clock there for a minute. We have 2 subjects left, Aristotle, Socrates, and Onassis, and Sounds of Silence.
Sounds of Silence.
We offer up Silence is Golden, The Silence of the Lambs, and Harpo Marx. Speaking of silence, select, please. For $300, Steve, the author of the best-selling novel of Silence of the Lambs is Thomas who? I'm sorry, Thomas Harris is the answer we're looking for. That will take $300 from your score, put you right even with Harry at the moment. We'll see what happens as the 2 of them face off. Harry and Cecil for $400. Harpo Marx made his silent film debut while his brothers did all the talking in a 1929 movie. Name that film. Steve, you're not in. You know the answer, though. What is it? The other 2 guys are holding out. All right, go ahead. Who is it? What was it?
Coconut?
Coconuts. Right. You're not going to get a dime for this now. You understand? Sorry, gentlemen, that was not as successful as it could have been. The last one, Aristotle, Socrates, and Onassis, involved Aristotle, Socrates, and guess who? There he is. All right. Select and wager. For $300, Cecil, this is your question. Socrates was lampooned in a play written during his lifetime called The Clouds. Name the playwright.
Aristophanes.
That's right, for $300. Harry and Steve for $400. What woman's name did shipping magnate Aristotle Socrates Onassis give to his own personal yacht? See, Christina. Christina is right for $400. And that puts you out in front again with $2,850. This is going to be a very, very good final challenge round because with Harry at $2,450, Steve at $2,850, and Cecil in there with $1,600, everybody has ample money to play the game. turning the other people's lives upside down in the process, and we'll be back to play the final challenge right after this.
If you'd like to become a contestant on the Challengers, please call area code 818-562-1620. Prizes awarded by Citibank, MasterCard, and Visa Card, America's most widely used credit card. And now, back to the final challenge, and here's your host, Dick Clark.
Thank you, Bob, very much. This really is fun. Some days when the score's all over the place, it's not as big a race. This is going to be a good race. Now, Steve, yesterday was easy for you. You had a couple of people who didn't have half the money you had. Now look what you're facing. A man with $2,450, another guy with $1,600. The only trick here is it's all yours, guys. You can take this and stop right now and put a couple of dollars up there and walk away with it or gamble. You're ready to play the final challenge, and the final challenge category is Speakers of the House. At even odds, home districts, doubly odds, and legends, triplets on the Massachusetts connection. We're talking about Speakers of the House. You'll have 15 seconds to consider, make your final wager of the day. Remember, the highest wager gets the question, and once again, the challenge is yours. All of our players' choices are locked in, subject to Speaker of the House. Cecil, it's up to you to wager first. What's your move?
Oh, I went for Legends for $1,355.
Wow, heavy duty. Harry, you've got $2,450 in the account. Where does it go?
Well, some of it's going to the Massachusetts connection for $1,200.
So far, so good. You each have a question. Steve, you've got the most amount of money. What was your strategy?
I went for the Massachusetts connection for $2,500.
Highest wager takes it away. Harry, this doesn't mean if you're out of it. If they both fail, you win. It's that simple. On the other hand, if either one of them does well, you'll walk out with your $2,450, so you still have a leg in the game here. Cecil, we'll start with you. When you put your whole story together at $1,355 wagered the way you did it, it's a grand total of $4,310 at stake on this question. A Texas congressman served more years as Speaker of the House than anyone else in history, and a congressional office building has been named in his honor. For $4,310, name this legendary Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Rayburn.
Sam Rayburn is right. You got $4,310. Steve, examining your wager, $2,500 times 3 is $7,500, a grand total of $10,350 if you're right. If you're wrong, it drops down considerably, and you're a lot of money left over from yesterday and the day before. But we'll worry about that in a minute. Talking about $10,350 here and the win. For some 20 of the last 30 years, 2 congressmen from Massachusetts served as Speakers of the House. The last of these Massachusetts men was Tip O'Neill. For $10,350, name the Massachusetts congressman who served as Speaker in the days of JFK, LBJ, and Nixon.
McCormick.
John McCormick is right. $10,350. That's a wonderful total. You got to preserve that. According to our miscalculation, you had $77,000 for a minute in time there.
Oh, there's $25,000.
Now, there's a massive amount of adjustment to happen here. This is $10,350, a 3-day total of $16,750. Congratulations. We'll see you Monday. Harry, you walk out with $2,450. Cecil, $4,310. A good weekend to you all. We'll see you Monday here on the Challengers. For now, Dick Clark. So long.
Some contestants today will receive Gitano swimwear. High performance at every curve Gitano, a new American tradition for the spirited family. Did you know that Wesson Light cooking spray has less than 1 calorie per serving? Wesson Light, less than 1 calorie. just a minute. That's all it takes to cover gray with New Age by Fanciful, the leader in temporary hair color. New Age. Qvel. Prevent painful nighttime leg cramps with Qvel. It helps stop leg cramps before they start. Qvel. And a gift certificate from Citibank, Visa, and MasterCard. Proud supporter of the National Parks Preservation Fund.
Okay, it's time to tell you who'll be visiting our home show from The Young and the Restless. It's John Castellano, that hunk of a lawyer. He'll be signing autographs on Sunday at 3 p.m. Now, it's time to watch your favorite show. The Young and the Restless is next.